So this is my 2026 Premier League darts tournament predictions. I know it's 1 month away, but it's for all day over and done with. Now we know the lineup. So the 2026 Premier League darts, known for sponsorship reasons, as the 2026 BetMGM Premier League is an upcoming professional darts tournament organised by the Professional Darts Tour Organisation, who are also known as the PDC, which is the shorter version for the Professional Darts Organisation. The 22nd edition of the Premier League Darts, the event will begin on Thursday, the 5th of February 2026 at the UTC Arena in Newcastle, and will end with the playoff night at the O2 Arena in London on Thursday, the 28th of May 2026. The total prize fund will be 1.250 million, with overall winner receiving 350k and each weekly winner receiving 10k bonus. The 8-player tournament will begin with a 16-week league stage. From the league stage, the top 4 players will compete in the playoffs. The 2026 edition will mark the introduction of Belgium to the schedule, with a night in Antwerp being included for the first time in the Premier League darts history. Jim Van Veen and Josh Watt are making their Premier League debuts. Hugh Humphreys is, of course, the defending champion, having defeated you-know-who, Youth Hitler, 11-8 in the 2025 final. The 2026 Premier League will use the same format that was introduced from the 2022 edition. It remains an 8-person knockout bracket every Thursday night. The players are guaranteed to meet each other once in the quarterfinals. Well, they're not really, let's be real. Because they've met each other quite a few times in recent history throughout the first 7 weeks, and once in quarterfinals from week 9 to 15, with 8 and 16 being drawn based on these stands at that point. Well, yeah, Saki, it's not once then, is it? They just contradict themselves in this format. Players receive 2 points per semi-final finish, 3 points per runner-up finish, and 5 points per each final win on every night. From the league phase, the top 4 players in the table contests the 2 playoff semi-finals, with first playing 4th and second playing 3rd, where the winners will progress to the Premier League final, as you all know. All matches are played in Yed format, with the number of Yeds required to win increasing as the tournament progresses. So the league stage, first to 6 Yeds, that is for the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals of every bracket night. Then the playoffs, first to 10 Yeds in the semi-finals of the playoffs, then first to 11 Yeds of the playoff final. As part of the PDC's business money increase in its history, the prize fund for the Premier League 2026 Premier League is 1.2 million, up from 1 million the previous year. The champion will receive 350k, and each night winner during the league phase will earn a 10k bonus. So the prize money is, the winner gets 350k. If you're the runner-up in the Premier League final, you get 170k. If you reach the semi-finals of the playoffs, you get 110k. If you finish 5th place in the league standings, then 95k. 6th place, 90k. 7th place, 85k. And if you finish bottom, you still get 80k. So Stephen Bunton will be happy about that, finishing bottom. Weekly winner bonus will receive 10k. So the venues for each week. Week 1, UTC Arena in Newcastle, 5th of February. Then we go to Antwerp, Belgium, week 2, 12th of February. Then Glasgow, week 3, 19th of February. For week 4, we go to Belfast. For week 5, we go to Cardiff. Well, I don't go to Cardiff, but you know what I mean. Week 6, we go to Nottingham. For week 7, the Premier League darts, we go to Dublin. For week 8, we go to Berlin. was told at Uber Arena. Was quite interesting. I wonder if there'll be plenty of Ubers there. Pardon the pun. Week 9, we go to Manchester. Week 10, they go to Brighton Centre, so in Brighton. Week 11, they go to Rotterdam, which is in the Netherlands, of course. Week 12, they go to Liverpool, at M&S Bank Arena. Week 13, they go to Aberdeen. Week 14, they go to Leeds. Week 15, they go to Birmingham for week 15. I forgot to put that in. For week 15, for week 16, they go to Sheffield, and obviously for the final week, they go to London, the O2 Arena for the playoff tonight. 8 players were invited to participate in the event. The top 4 players from the PC Order Merit following the 2026 PC World are Somser, Hugh Hieter, Hugh Humphreys, Gian van Veen, and of course Michael van Derwen qualified automatically. The remaining players that were picked were Johnny Curtin, Stephen Bunting, Josh Rock, and Derwin Price were chosen as wildcards yet by the PC and were revealed live on Sky Sports News on the 5th of January 2026. The announcement saw 3 changes made from the 2025 PDC lineup, with Van Veen, Curtin, Josh Rock replacing the likes of Rob Watts, Chris Dorby, and Nathan Aspinall. Van Veen and Josh Rock will obviously both make their Premier League debuts of sorts, while Johnny Curtin, obviously former Premier League winner this time, will return to the tournament for the first time since 2023. So the notable missings from the tournament were, of course, Nathan Aspinall and world number 10 Danny Noppert and world number 11 James Wade. Speaking on Sky Sports News, Wayne Mardle believed that it would be a bitter pill to swallow for Danny Noppert. I completely agree, by the way, who reached 4 semi-finals in major tournaments in 2025 and stated that Bunting was fortunate to be picked. The 2009 Premier League champion, James Wade, a finalist at the World Master and the UK Open in 2025, issued a statement on social media, even though James Wade previously said he didn't want to be in the Premier League, where he conveyed his disappointment with not being included. Within his post with "hard work pays off," really, ? Before saying missing out hurts, but that's part of the journey. He said it's back to work now. 2026, he will be ready. So yeah, for me, I completely agree. For me, they are the 3 players who probably should have been in it, in my opinion. Nathan Aspinall maybe not should be in it, because Nathan Aspinall turned off the back end of the year, didn't he? But James Wade and Danny Noppert certainly should have been in it, in my opinion. James Wade reached 2 major finals in the UK Open and the World Master. Without Hieter in them finals, James Wade probably wins both of them finals. And Danny Noppert not being in the Premier League is an absolute joke as well. Reaching 4 major semi-finals. Stephen Bunting, what has Stephen Bunting done this year, in 2025? He's done nothing, Stephen Bunting. Are they really inviting Stephen Bunting because of his walk-on? And he gets the fans done with his titanium walk-on. What an absolute joke, honestly. Absolute joke. Is that what the PDC are we pitting on? Absolute disgrace, in my opinion. And I have nothing against Stephen Bunting. I like Stephen Bunting, but he does not deserve to be in the Premier League this year. Maybe Stephen Bunting can have a bit of a Nathan Aspinall impact, where everyone said Nathan Aspinall didn't deserve to be in the Premier League in 2025, and look what Aspinall did. He ended up reaching the semi-finals, and he said, hold that. Maybe Stephen Bunting can do that. And I hope he does. I hope Stephen Bunting does that. But for me, the last 2 times, Stephen Bunting has been a waste of time in the Premier League. As well as I didn't agree with Nathan Aspinall being in the Premier League in 2025, at least we know Aspinall was a former finalist of the Premier League. So he has done well in the past in the Premier League. But yeah, anyways, on to my predicted league standings and my predictions for the league standings and my predictions for the playoffs and who will win the whole the whole tournament. So yeah, in 8th place, I just mentioned him, Stephen Bunting. Didn't deserve to be in the Premier League, doesn't deserve to be in the Premier League in my opinion. I just feel it's going to be a waste of a spot in the Premier League, in my opinion, where he's going to be the whipping boy for all these 7 players, in my personal opinion, in the Premier League. So yes, move on to 7th place. I have done for Johnny Curtin. Hasn't been in the Premier League for quite a while. I just feel, unfortunately for Johnny, I just think he's rejoined the Premier League at the one time where there's just more quality players than him, unfortunately for him. He definitely can't be ruled out, in my opinion, from reaching the playoffs. You just never know with Johnny Curtin. He's a former Premier League winner as well, but obviously Johnny Curtin, he's not played in this. I don't think he's played in this format, has he? I don't believe he's played in this format before. So I think he'll finish in 7th place. In 6th place, might shock a few people. I don't for Michael van Duren, a player who's always qualified for the Premier League Darts playoffs, apart from last year, and won in knockdown as well. So Norrie has a good record qualifying for the playoffs. I just think Van Duren for me is just too hit and miss for me. I just believe he's too hit and miss to qualify for the playoffs. Like Van Duren, he'll definitely be in contention right to the end, Van Duren. But I just think there's too much inconsistency with Van Duren at the moment, and I think he'll finish in 6th. It is really sad to see, but I think he's going to have the same impact as Peter White in his last Premier League, where you see that drop off, in my opinion, and you see all these players coming through now, the likes of Chopswalk and Shane Van Veen. And finally, 5th place, and the player to miss out on the playoffs, I done for Derwin Price to miss out on the playoffs. He will definitely challenge for the playoff places, Derwin Price. He'll be right there, right to the end. But I just feel he'll just miss out, in my opinion. I just feel he'll just miss out Derwin Price this time. Obviously, he qualified last year, didn't he, for the playoffs, semi-finals, where he should have beaten Yetler. Let's be real, he should have beaten Yetler, in my opinion, that semi-finals. And but I think he will be there. He will be chancing for them playoffs right to the end, but I think he'll just miss out, in my opinion. Which means in 4th place, I don't for Josh Swap to qualify for the playoffs on his debut in the Premier League. I just feel with his style, with his playing style, his style is exciting for those fans attending. For those fans attending, he is exciting to watch Josh Swap, isn't he? I think he'll have a slow start, though. I do think he will have a slow start to the Premier League campaign. But then I think on the second half of the Premier League phase, you will see the very best of him, in my opinion. So I think he will finish in 4th. In 3rd, I've of course done for the defending champion, Luke Humphries. I think he will easily qualify, in my opinion, for the Premier League playoffs. Despite you do see a slight drop off, don't you? You do still see a slight drop off in Humphries now. But he's definitely capable of still winning the major, isn't he? Let's be real. In 2nd place, I done for another one making his debut, done for Shane Van Veen. I think with the Darts, if he can back up the Darts he played at the World Championship, he will easily get in the top 4 of the Premier League. Obviously, the only risk for me is with Shane Van Veen and Josh Watt, is they're not experienced at the Premier League stage, either. That's the only thing with them two. But I don't think they need it. I don't think they'll show any nerves at all. So I think Shane Van Veen will finish 2nd in the league standings. And of course, in 1st, I have done for you here, the best player in the world to finish 1st in the league standings. In terms of my playoff predictions, don't forget versus Josh Watt. Don't forget to beat Josh Watt in the first semi-final. Don't forget Van Veen to beat Luke Humphries. In the second semi-final. I just think Jim Van Veen has Humphries' number. Simple as that, doesn't he? Just seems to have Humphries' number. I do think Luke Humphries will beat Jim Van Veen though in the thirds, because it is about to end at some point, isn't it? That record. If you try many times, it's going to work at least once. At least. This means my final is going to be the repeat of the world final. Yeah, first Jim Van Veen. And I think it will be a lot more closer though, compared to the world final, because it is a yet format. But I do think Yeti will win back his Premier League crown of Luke Humphries after Humphries beat him when Yeti was the defending champion. And I don't know for, I know it's boring, but I don't know for Yeti to win the Premier League. I just don't think you can do it for anyone else, really, can you? Unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to for Yeti to win back his Premier League crown. But I do think it will be tough for him because it isn't in the Ed format. And I do think Van Veen and Humphries will be contenders as well for this tournament, this Premier League as well. So yeah. so they are my Premier League 2026 Premier League darts tournament predictions. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. I know it's boring, but I just feel yeah, just far too good, isn't he? Far too good. He's just basically a dartbot, isn't he? Yeah. For me, I don't like the format. My final words, I don't really like the format because I'm more of a TV viewer. So it's not going to be done for a TV viewer, is it? Watching the same thing all the time. But for those attending, every night, it's entertainment, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's entertainment, and that's why the PDC have kept it, because it's selling tickets. The tickets are still selling, and that's why they're sticking with the format. So yeah, I do understand it. To be fair, but for me as a TV viewer, it's just becoming a bit stale, isn't it? Same old. And they always say they play each other once and they play each other twice. Well, they don't. They play each other more than twice. They contradict themselves at times. But yeah, that's my final one, anyways. But feel free to leave your tournament predictions down below for the 2026 Premier League darts. And of course, I will be back every night. But every night through, I will be predicting every night as well. And every night through in separate videos. And feel free to leave your predictions down below in the comments.